Hello and welcome to Fusion Fundamentals with me, MJ. Today we're going to be having a look at something called a T4 bacteriophage. It's quite random, as you can see here in the image. It's like this little bacteria thing, or it eats bacteria or kills bacteria. But the reason that I wanted to draw it is because of this strange shape on the head. It's called an icosahedron, so it's 20-sided, which is pretty cool. So I thought, I wonder if I can model that. So I tried it and I did it. Maybe not the most conventional techniques used, but follow along and see how you go. So to get started with this one, we're going to just create a sketch on the top plane. We're going to create a polygon. So we're going to create polygon circumscribed. Bear in mind that this is nowhere near scale. I mean, these things are microscopic. So I'm just making a 5-sided polygon. I'm going to get this side facing horizontal-ish, and then I'm just going to put a horizontal constraint on this side. The other one is opposite, so the horizontal side will be at the top. So once we've got the first shape, we'll construct a plane or offset plane from this one. I will go up 30 millimeters, and then I will create a sketch. Make sure I'm selecting the right plane. Again, I will select a polygon, circumscribed polygon. That's got that little center point. That's the center of, I don't quite know, not quite the center, but it's not the origin, which is what we're starting on. So again, 15 millimeters and 5-sided. And now our flat part is on top. So let me just put on this horizontal constraint. There we go. So that's the start of our drawing. What I want to do now is connect these points. So we're going to create a new sketch. This time you can select any plane. So we're going to do it in 3D. So if you go down to the bottom here, you see there where it says 3D sketch. If I select that, I can actually access any point in any plane. But first I want to project these points. So P for project. Now I want just the points. Not quite giving me what I want, but so now when you're drawing these lines, make sure you don't click on the little purple projections, because those are just where it's projected on that vertical plane that we're supposed to be drawing on. You see they're all in a line there. So we're going to make sure that we ignore the projected points, but just go to the points we can snap to. So see, it snaps nicely to the corner. So you'll just do this right the way around. And there we go, finished sketch. So now I can see there where it is. And what I'm going to do is now I'm going to loft. So it's a bit of a weird lofting exercise. I tried a few different ways to do this, and this was the most fun. So create, loft. Now I'm just going to select this bottom plane and then a point. Now we can see I've got it up to that wall. So I'm going to repeat this. Make sure my sketches are visible. And loft again. I'll select this point. Sorry, loft. It's not selecting loft. There we go. Loft to that point. And we can see we've got another 2 sides. So I'll repeat this all the way around. Create, loft, that one, I skipped one there, so we should just be able to, there we go. Like I said, a bit of an unconventional method. It's not selecting loft, there we go. So unconventional method, but fun to see it come together. So we've got these two more here. One more loft and we should have it. Here we go. So that is part of it done. I'm just going to turn off that sketch. Now we need to do on top. So I'm going to create another plane, offset it from the top by 15, and I will create another plane, offset from the bottom also by 15. Now on these planes I will create a sketch, and all I'm doing here is a point. So I select point, let it snap to the origin, and I'll do the same on the bottom one. Create sketch, create point, and snap to the origin. It's not really letting me do it. Now what, 2 points there. So I'm wanting this to snap to the origin, but it seems to be snapping to the point on the top one. It should be in line, but they aren't really. I think I've gone a bit off here. So now once you finish sketch, you can just go create loft, and you'll loft from the surface to the point. I don't know why it keeps not selecting loft. Anyway, let me turn the sketches back on. Again, loft, select there, select the point. So what's nice about these lofting to a point is if you wanted that to be sort of a dome or a rounded shape, you could say pointed tangent, and it'll start off tangential to the plane on which that point is drawn, but I want it sharp. So there we've got our front view. Now we've got that shaft coming out the bottom. I'm going to create a sketch on the bottom plane. Doesn't matter that it's intersecting. I'm just going to create a circle from the origin. I'll go 8 millimeters, and then finish sketch, and I'll extrude that. So we can make that, let's make it 100. And it's not cut, it'll be a join operation. So there it's joined. What we can do now is it had that coil going up, so we can go create coil. Now it's going to want us to select a plane. So we select that plane, and then we select a starting point or center point, and I'm going to make this 10 millimeters, and it's going to figure out what our coil is. So this is, I think, sort of the dimensions I had on the previous practice one. So there it's going right into it. Let's make that a little bit shorter, and this is going to be a new body. So one thing I found out, if I make that too small and I can't compute that many coils, they'll say that it can't work because there's not enough space between the coils to actually make them. I'll just drag it up so we've got a little bit of space between them. Let's maybe make this 30. New body. Okay. So I'm going to draw everything, then we can add some color to it. I'm going to create a sketch on the bottom plane now. Well, not the bottom, on the bottom of this. It's just going to be a center diameter circle. And it's going to come just past here. So we'll make it 15. Finish sketch. And then I will extrude this. It's down a few millimeters. So this is going to be the base where the feet attach to. 5 millimeters is fine. Also a new body, so we can assign it its own color without having to worry about a surface appearance versus a complete body. So there we go. That's the base part. Now we need legs. So I'm going to create a sketch on this front plane. So that means it's going to be in the center of this thing. So if I go here, I'm just going to turn off 3D Sketch. Sometimes I'll leave that on and I'll make mistakes because it allows you to click anywhere basically. I'm going to select Slice. And this is going to show us what we're actually drawing on. So I'm wanting to draw this line coming through that edge point. So I'm going to P for project. I'm going to project this. And then I'm going to select the line tool. And don't know if that's the right length, but that's what I'm going with. I'm going to show you something now. I should draw this line so that it goes into the body there, but I'm going to do it without it first so we can have a look at what happens. I'm going to go construct plane along path, and then we'll select this as a path. I'll just drag this right down to the bottom because we're going to be drawing on this tip there. Now we draw a little circle on this tip here. So select that plane, center diameter circle, it snaps to origin. We'll go at 2.5. These dimensions are quite arbitrary. I'll just kind of make them up as I go along. So we selected that profile. Now the path. Now if you see, okay, so we selected that path. Now the problem is it doesn't intersect. It stops at the edge there, and we want it to be going into it. So what I can do is if I go back to this sketch where we actually drew the path and zoom in here, let me slice it again. I'll select the line tool from this point just into the body there. Doesn't really matter, doesn't have to go too far, and then I will make this parallel. So this line and this line parallel. It'll just straighten that one up for me. Now if I go back into my sweep operation, double click there, and change the path, select the path to include this little section, we can see it goes nicely in there. Now we almost done. Go to pattern, circular pattern, we'll select this object, and the axis will be the circumference of this circle. So you can, just so that it knows it's going in a circle, and we want 6. Okay. And I can't remember if I make that a new body or, okay, we've got a bunch of bodies there, so that looks good. Should be able to edit all of them. To start off with, I'm just going to right click on this top part, appearance. These are some of the colors I tested out when I was trying this. Put a green on the top there so it covers that little shaft. Blue on this coil. Put this white at the bottom. And then we'll do the legs in this glass red. It's almost like a see-through deep red. Again, I have absolutely no idea what colors this actually is, because it's microscopic. But what I wanted to show was this weird shape, this icosahedron. Anyway, there's our bacteriophage. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please do like and subscribe. Leave a comment down in the comment section, or you can get in touch with me at fusionfundamentals@gmail.com. My email address is in the description. Till next time, bye.